And let's go ahead and start our little, my screen is looking a little different than usual today. Share. Share with you. What do I want to share with you all today? Something amazing, probably. Oop, we got Brooke coming in. Sorry, one more to bring in here. There's Brooke. Welcome, Brooke. Glad you can make it. I've got way too many screens opened up here. Okay. There we go. Let's see. Let's go back here to our dashboard. And I'm trying to get all of your questions and emails answered as we go. For just a quick review, this is the dashboard. You are in the residential design course right now. You are taking 2 courses at the same time, which is a wonderful thing to do, which means you're also able to take 2 college credit courses at the same time. We'll focus a lot of that on Tuesday to make sure you're registered and ready to go on that. But you do need to get admitted to Weber State as soon as possible, and then we can get you set up for your concurrent enrollment classes. And I'll talk a little bit about why I use Weber State. Weber State's program, if you looked at the video I kind of mentioned before, it allows you 3 choices of career, so you don't have to be committed to one option at this point. And so that's why I use them. The other option is it's an applied program, so you learn by doing. 3rd option, it's mostly online in evenings, so you can work while you go to school, so you don't have any debt. And 4th option, the graduate's pay rate is amazing and the scholarships are great. So there's my rationale for choosing Weber State. Any of the college courses that you're taking in any of your high schools under state law, doesn't matter where you take the college credit from, it is transferable directly to every other state college. So if you're taking classes from SLIC and you're taking classes from Weber State and you want to go to UVU, those credits will transfer directly. No pro class is ever authorized for concurrent unless there's an equivalent at the other universities. So win one for Utah, best system in the world. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump into the modules. Again, down here is their group, and right here, if you cannot find the link, and you guys have found the link, it's right here. So kudos to you guys. That's a good thing. There will be an announcement coming later this afternoon regarding attendance. If I'm looking correctly, many of you were not able to attend on Tuesday. There is a redemption thing coming for you. It will be the only time that is offered throughout the semester, so you're welcome to take advantage of it or not. It is your choice, but it won't be easy. It'll be worth it though in the end. So keep that in mind. And that'll be right here in this big yellow box. It is not active yet, but it will be once I send the announcement. So there's a couple of things that are really, really important for you to do as a student. Number 1, check your school email. That is the email I use to contact and talk to you. If you don't know what your school email is, find out. Number 2, read the announcements in the course. They're very, very important. I don't take the time to do them unless they are, or unless I'm told to. So kind of keep that in mind as you work through things. And let's talk today about what you're going to be working on Tuesday. So on Tuesday, you'll have had most of the things that I've assigned already completed, or hopefully completed, so that you can move onward and upward with our project house. So I'm just going to pull up right here. And we're going to kick this thing out hopefully in maybe 2 weeks. We're going to create this little house. We're not going to worry about furniture, so don't get too excited about furniture on the drawing here. We leave that to the interior design classes. We will, however, do anything that's built in. So this island for this kitchen will be constructed. The cabinets, we'll put that all in. We'll put in the coat shelf and rod in the closets, all the doors and the windows. As we're looking at this little teeny tiny house here, this house is not terribly small. It's not terribly big either. Not a terribly complicated house. It's pretty straightforward. However, each of you will have the option to make it slightly unique and slightly your own, because that's what happens. There are not a lot of ways to keep things separate. So this little 960 square foot house, just so you kind of have some perspective, this was the average house size for the 1950s, was 960 square feet. The configuration was a little different. Usually there were 2 bedrooms in one of the house this size. And, but yeah, that's a pretty common little size there. This size house is classified as an accessory dwelling unit officially, but it also goes by granny flat, in-law pad, you know, some things like those that are kind of used in other parts of the country. So let's kind of talk about what we want to do with this and what we're looking at. And so what I'm going to do is kind of go over a little bit what the code requirements are with what you're seeing on the screen, just so that you have a working knowledge for class on Tuesday, because we do have to make up a lot of lost time with this week, and but you can do it. I have faith in you. All right, first and foremost, this is a presentation drawing, which means all the details are not necessarily here, because the idea is that this is for selling purposes only, so people have an idea of what they're getting. That's why the walls are all filled in black. Whenever we fill in or texture or shade something like the black thick walls here on the drawing, that is referred to as poché. Poché is a French term. It just means to shade. It's kind of a little funky like that, but that is spelled P-O-C-H-E with a little cedilla up on top of it. It's poché. They can either, there's a couple ways that's done. We could show, if it's a wood wall, we would show wood grain in that space. If it is a metal stud wall like we'd use in commercial, we would show metal symbols there. Or if it's a presentation, we just fill it in black. So that's kind of what you're seeing there. There's just that little poché or to shade method there. Okay, starting in the front door is where we're going to start with this, because it's kind of important. At least I think it's important, and the law says it's important. Your front door, which is this door right here, that, or actually let's be real specific. A door on the exterior of your house must be 3 feet wide. That is a requirement for all houses in the United States. Now, the code does say a door. It doesn't have to be the front door of the house. It could be a side door, it could be a back door, but a single door in the house somewhere has to be 3 feet. The purpose for that rule is one for your service workers, firefighters, and paramedics. In order to get a gurney, meaning one of those beds they haul you out to the ambulance on, through a door, it needs to be 3 feet wide. That's why we have that code, for those emergency services. Okay, so yeah, it typically is the front door, which makes it handy to move things like pianos and water beds and fish tanks and all that kind of stuff through there, filing cabinets. But that door must be, a door must be 3 feet wide. Then we get into our walls. We're gonna go those next. So new arrow here, so you know where I'm talking. Exterior walls since 1978 in the United States are done with 2x6 construction. They're a little thicker wall. So this allows for us to get the right amount of insulation in the walls to make the home as energy efficient as possible. So these walls that we're going to start with will be a 2x6 construction, and on the exterior is a sheet of plywood. That plywood is there for wind strength, or what we call lateral loading. So it helps to keep the building from being blown over, keeps it stiff during an earthquake, gives it a little bit of structural integrity for loading on the roof. The problem we have right now in the United States is that a single sheet of plywood is $80. And that's as of the last 16 months. 3 years ago, before COVID hit, that same sheet was $3.50. So that's kind of the way things have kind of gotten out of hand here, which makes construction costs really high. So they kind of worry about it. So we have a door, and then we have this guy right here that also looks like a door. That is a casement window, a window that has hinges on it that cranks out. Now, we'll probably modify that a little bit because if there's a porch there, that's a little in the road type thing. So when we look at the windows that go wrong here, we'll make some changes to them. This is one that we probably will look at a little differently. One thing, it's kind of usually not considered good design to line one window on one side of the room with another across from it. There's a little bad mojo that goes with that, so people get a little not nutsy with that. One is you have a hard time. Well, you get quite the wind through your house if you have two windows like that. And we'll just talk about a little bit more of that as we get into it on here. On the interior walls, in this plan that you're seeing here, they look exactly the same thickness as the exterior walls. The reality is the interior walls are made out of 2x4 studs. So they're almost 2 full inches thinner than what your exterior walls are. Interior walls do not need insulation. We're getting a little crazy on the internet here. Sorry, might be cutting out there. We should be back. 2x4 walls usually aren't insulated. They do have gypsum board on the inside or on each side of that wall. In residential, the gypsum board we use is 1/2 inch thick. That 1/2 inch sheet of drywall, plasterboard, sheetrock, gypsum board, that 1/2 inch thick material is enough to give a 1 hour rating to the wall, which means it takes 1 hour for a fire to burn through a 1/2 inch thick piece of material. And that's a good thing. So we want to make sure your house is going to stand up as long as possible to keep everybody inside safe. Now that I just said that interior walls typically aren't insulated, there are 2 types of rooms that could be insulated if you choose to. Room type 1 is a bathroom. It's not uncommon to insulate a bathroom, especially if it's like a powder room. We'll talk more about those as we get moving along, but a powder room would be where your guests would go. You insulate it not for heat, but you insulate it for sound, so that whatever's going on in that little room that has a water closet, which is a toilet, and a lavatory, which is a sink, we don't want to necessarily know what's going on there when we have company over. Some things are best left unknown, and we'll just leave it at that. The other room that is, so bathrooms can be insulated for sound. The other room would be a master bedroom. That's often also insulated for sound. The third room that is relatively new to residential are home theater rooms. Again, they're insulated to keep the sound in the room and so that all the bass doesn't shake the whole house apart. So those 3 areas could be insulated. Exterior walls are always insulated. Okay. All right, we come to the hallway here. This hallway shows, oops, I don't want that to be blue. It's okay, we'll be fine. This hallway shows to be a 4-foot opening, okay, which is fine. That's just good. We can have 4 feet. But what we're looking at is this little 4-footer could be, it could be down as low as 3 feet. The building code requires that hallways and stairways are a minimum of 3 feet wide. In this case, it's 4, so we've got an extra foot of space in here. We can modify that if we'd like on this plan. This is one of those areas where we have to make some choices as to what we want to do there, but we could modify that a little bit and shift things just a little bit. So 3 feet, and this is going to be on a bunch of quizzes, assignments, worksheets, your final exam, hallways, and stairways are a minimum of 3 feet wide. Cool beans. All right, so coming into this area here, we have a linen closet. Linen closets have, they serve a variety of purposes, mainly for linens. This is your sheets, your towels, your, I don't know what else, rugs, I guess, if you store extra rugs in there, but mainly linens. A lot of people use it for their medicine cabinets. Some people put all their board games in there. The part that you want to know, the thing that's important here, is from the inside wall to inside wall, that's the depth of the closet, is between 1 foot and 18 inches. We don't go deeper than that. One, because it's a little hard to reach the stuff at the back. It doesn't store in there very well. It's hard to reach it. So we try and stay either 1 foot or 16 inches. Is that right? 18 inches. It's either 18 inches or 1 foot. The size of this is a bifold door, meaning it's a one door that folds into two, what we call leaves. So leaf 1, leaf 2 here, that keep it hinged. You could put a swinging door on there, just like on this coat closet down here. You could do that. It just kind of depends on what your style is as you work out what you feel looks good, what you feel is wonderful, what you feel is aesthetically pleasing to the eye. That's up to you. Okay. All right, next thing we're going to look at now as we get into these other doors. So there's 2 doors here. One's to a bathroom, the other is to a bedroom. There is a kind of a rule of thumb with door sizes, and it's really, again, up to you as the designer. Doors are sized in 2-inch increments. So you could have a 1 foot door, which would be like a door on a kitchen cabinet. The next door up in size would be a 14-inch, then a 16-inch, then an 18-inch, then a 2 foot door. So in your bedrooms, the smallest you would want to go is 2'6", which is 30 inches. You don't want to go any smaller than that with a bedroom. The largest you want to, you can then go up from there. It's kind of really what you want to spend your money on. With doors, you're going to add $400 for every 2 inches. So if you go from a 30-inch door to a 2'8" door, you just added a bunch of money to your budget. There's a couple reasons for going with a bigger door. Typically, what I'll use on bedrooms is a 2'8" door. So 2 feet 8 inches. And the reason I do that is, in this case here, if we're going to put a king size bed in this bedroom, which if you can, why not? I've got to bring that mattress through this door, come up around this corner, and somehow get into there to get that mattress in. Now this has got quite a bit of space there. At least it looks like it does on paper. But you are negotiating corners and trying to fold a mattress. And the problem you might have is if you aren't paying attention, that mattress will fling you across the room. And somebody may have that happen to you. It's kind of a fun ride. But I like to go a little bit wider on the door, just to make that moving a mattress easier. I will never go less than 2'6" on a bedroom door. Okay, so 2'6" is the minimum I would recommend to you. But I usually do 2'8" or 2'10" on my bedroom doors. And a lot of it depends on the client and the furniture they have. I have had clients who had some very old antique furniture that is just massive, that needed to have all the doors in the entire house be 3 feet wide in order to move anything around. So you just make sure you talk with your clients. That's going to be the most important thing you learn in this class, is talk, and then make sure you listen. Because as much as we like to do things through text and so forth, we miss information that way. So we'll work on that. So bedroom doors, 2'6", 2'8", that's pretty common. Bathroom doors are a little different. So I'm going to give you my philosophy on it. Bathroom doors can be as small as 2'2". That's 26 inches. Now, I don't know you guys at all. Yay. Jared, do you have a mic? Can I pick on you? Cool. Can I hear your voice? It might tell me a little bit about you. Not hearing Jared. I don't think your mic's working. Oh, there it comes. All right, speak loud and clear.
You able to hear me now?
I am. You
Okay.
sound about 5'8" to 5'10" in height. Am I right?
Yeah, roughly.
Wow, pretty good, huh? Are you a junior, sophomore, or senior?
Sophomore.
Sophomore, okay. So you're probably then gained anywhere between 2 to 4 inches over the next 2 years.
I would hope so, yeah.
Okay. So right now you're probably your shoulder width by your, this is pretty good. This is on voice only. This is pretty good. You're probably your shoulders from shoulder blade, well, from outside edge of shoulder, it's probably about 18 inches, right? So you're probably wearing a medium shirt.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. It's gonna be fun to see you someday. When you get through your senior year, your shoulder width will probably be closer to 22 inches.
Okay.
Okay, kind of good. So if we're gonna take you through a bathroom door that's less than 2 feet, that's gonna be problematic, right? Because you have to go through sideways, and then you become a bad joke. So we want to make sure that we cover. And the reason I'm using 22, that's the average shoulder span for an adult male in the United States is 22 inches. So we want to make sure that our bathroom doors are at least enough that we have room for arms to swing back and forth without people getting knocked up on the side of the door. So if you go, that's why we start at 2'2" on those bathrooms. Now, the next problem I have then, Jared, is when you hang your clothes up, do you have a lot of room in your closet?
Yeah, I have a pretty good amount.
Yeah, pretty much. Do you have it set so that when you hang up a shirt that it doesn't touch the shirt next to it?
No.
Okay. So if you go by fashion decrees, this is coming out of New York, no garment, meaning piece of clothing, should ever touch another thing hanging in a closet, which means I have big closets. Okay. That's not realistic, but that's what New York wants, because they want you to buy all new clothes every 3 months, and that's okay. Thanks, Jared. I appreciate your participation today, and thanks for letting me decipher your body by your voice. That's kind of weird, huh? That's really weird. That's okay. Thanks, Jared. Appreciate it. All right, now, once we get past the bathroom door, and again, 2'2" is the smallest. I try to go 2'6" if I can. Now, this bathroom doesn't have a tub. It has a shower in it. But on a regular house, the tub that you guys most likely used growing up that has a shower as well, those tubs are 30 inches wide, 30 inches tall, and 5 feet long. So most of you probably find out if you take a bath, the majority of your body is out of the water now because you're growing up and getting bigger. They're great for when you're little, and so you move from baths to showers. If I decided to remodel a bathroom and I need to take the tub out, that means if that door is less than 30 inches, I'm gonna have to cut the tub or tear out the wall. Either way, it's not fun. So either I've got to cut the tub in half to get it through the wall, through that door, or I've got to tear the whole door frame out and make a bigger hole. Okay. So I try and realize that in housing, people like to remodel their spaces on average about every 7 years, are major remodels for most of America. Now, there are people who do major remodels every 5 years, but it usually averages about 7 for the majority of us. So I just try and, not make extra work. When I look at design, try and think in the future. When we design a house, we design that house to last for 200 years. That's a short time frame here for America. America is not quite 300. We're just about to hit 250. So we're a really young country. If you were to go to England or Italy or Spain, there are families living in the homes that their families have lived in for 1,200 years. Same building, 1,200 years old. That's pretty astounding and pretty amazing. Those buildings have been remodeled multiple times. but the character is all there. The whole je ne sais quoi of what makes that oh, that's a fancy word, a really nice place to live still exists. In America, we're very disposable. We like to tear things out, throw it away. We're gonna have to change our thinking on that here. But so I try to do bathroom doors 2'6". Okay, and then we've got over here in the bedroom, we have this walk-in closet. A walk-in closet must be at least 4 feet deep to qualify as a walk-in closet. This one's at 5 feet, right here's 5. So it's an actual walk-in closet. You can have a door swing like this, or you can have a bifold. There's even a door type that some of you may have at home, which is called a bypass, which are 2 panels that slide back and forth, and they come off their hinges all the time or off the track, kind of cheap door slabs. That's all good. It's great. But the minimum depth for a closet, so if I looked at the coat closet here, for example, I've got to have room for those clothes. This is why I asked Jared if his clothes touch. So ideally, if you're hanging up like a coat, you want about a ½ inch to an inch between each coat, especially if you were on a rainy day, you don't want water to transfer to the next coat. So they try and give you enough space for that. You also need to account for that shoulder width. So a closet, a traditional non-walk-in closet, from the inside of the closet to the inside of the wall of the closet, going inside of it, is a minimum of 2 feet. That means, and this is kind of amazing, is your hangers that you hang your clothes on in your closet are 22 inches from tip to tip. So they match the average size of the adult male. That does change every, right now we're changing about every 18 years. They readjust the averages for the United States. We are getting larger, and I'm not saying we're just getting fatter, we are getting larger. The size of the human genome increases based off nutrition available. So Americans are taller, and they have bigger muscle structure and more muscle structure and density and bone density than most countries. So if you were to take an American born in 2005 and compare them with a Chinese person from 2005, there's a marked difference in size, and it's all about the nutritional quality that they're getting. Very little about genetics. Our genetics are designed to take in the nutrition and maximize our survival potential, and that usually means increased muscle and height. So that's kind of how that scientifically works out. So your closet depth is 2 feet, so you can put your coats and closets and hangers in there, and we can make sure we accommodate both genders, that we have the larger structure of the male being the dominant one, for make sure the depth of the closet's deep enough. That works out really good for women, because then there's lots of room for shoes on the shelf or in the bottom, depending on how you want to do that. And if it was 1962, it would be a good place to put all your hats. That was the style and fashion back then, but we had moved on. Okay. In our walk-in closet here, notice how the dotted line comes around two walls here. That is the rod that your hangers hang on. Above that is a shelf. So the rod is half the distance. So from the wall to the rod is half of that hanger distance of 22 inches. So it should be right about 11 inches away. And then we have a shelf that be on top of this. That would be somewhere between 12 and 18 inches for that depth. And that's good storage place. Put all your sweaters and stuff up there, all that good stuff. So we have to lay this all out and get it all set up. Next thing we need to do then, and I'm trying to keep our time reasonably within the hour, as I said in the last video and last class session. The next thing we have, so we got to put all this together, and we do have a couple more building codes you have to worry about. Let's start with the water closet. That's the toilet. A toilet is by official name a water closet. There's a water closet on the back of it, and we're having a difficult internet connection time, so I'm going to pause a minute. There we go. The space that the water closet sits in, so in this case from the shower to the vanity here, is a minimum of 30 inches. That's 15 inches from the center of the water closet to the sink vanity, and from the center to the shower, that you have to have those minimums of 15. Now, if you've ever watched someone work on a water closet that needs repaired, that is not a lot of space to work in because all the valves and everything are down underneath and at the back. So I try and give them 18 inches on each side. So it's a little bit more room in there. If I'm adding 18, that makes 36 inches instead of 30. It makes it just a little easier to work on maintenance and repair and cleaning. If you've ever had to try and mop around a toilet, not easy to do in all cases. So give some people a little space if you can. So we have that code rule. And the rest of the code rule within water closet is from the tip of the bowl in front, there has to be 2 feet of non-obstructed area. That is strictly so you can stretch your legs out if you're sitting on the toilet, or if you're kneeling in front of it, there's room to do so. Again, we don't need to go into too much detail online, but you know, people throw up, they need to be comfortable doing that. It's important. So we have that issue. The sitting issue is so you don't close off the major arteries of the back of your legs and pass out and die on the toilet, which is kind of bad. Well, let me just slow down. Bathroom windows must be obscured glass, meaning you can't see through it. A window like this one here, and we don't know the size of this window. You're going to determine that yourself. But if you are buying a window for a bathroom for your own home, I would recommend you do what's called the skin test. You take your hand and you put it up against the glass and you look on the outside. And if you can tell what each finger's shape is, it's not obscure enough. When you put it up, it should just be one massive pink color coming through without any detail. Then it's a safe window for a bathroom. We want to make sure everybody feels comfortable in a bathroom situation and not open it up to bad people. I guess we can say it that way. Bad people. Bedroom windows have a different set of rules. While it'd be nice if they're obscured, you can do that, but they're more importantly that we have a way to get people out of the house. The 90% of all home fires start at night while people are asleep. So the windows in the bedrooms need to be so that a 5-year-old can crawl out of them in an emergency. That means the bottom of the window cannot be higher than 42 inches off the floor. And for a 5-year-old, that means I'd be able to push a chair up to the window and then climb out, but no more than 42 inches off the floor. And they have to accommodate a firefighter crawling through the window into the house in full gear. So that means the window, so we'll look at this one here. This larger window here, there's a midpoint right where my cursor is. That means that this window probably slides open. So half the window can be opened to fresh air at a time. The part of the window that opens must be equivalent to 5.7 square feet. Now, in order for that to work out, that means this window must be 4 feet wide and 3 feet tall in order to accommodate that size. Okay. That way a firefighter can get through without breaking the glass and crawling through broken glass. But it has to have 5.7 square feet of openable area on that window. Okay. So kind of have a few rules and controls there. If we have, like in the shower here, that's to have glass on it, most likely. If it's a window by within 12 inches of the door, so if there's a window here and it's 12 inches to the door, or there's a window in the door, or the door is made of glass, like the shower door might be, then that glass must be tempered glass. And that means it's been baked so it breaks into little crystals and not into shards. You'll still might need stitches, but the cuts won't be deep enough to have you bleed out. Kind of one of those things to worry. We have to worry about everybody being stupid and design for the stupid of everybody in a house. Another code we need to really address that you need to be aware of as we lay this out. And we're going to make it, like I said in the last video, we're going to make a few adjustments to this house, mainly just so that you know how to do it. and we'll then give you some files to work with on that. Let's just see what things you guys have now stared at this for 22 minutes. Are there items on here that either A, you don't understand, or B, that you want changed right away? And please feel free to chime in. Good. Let's go with B. Is there anything you know you want to change? Whoops, a daisy. Pull that back up. Sorry about that. Anything you know you want to change? Okay, we'll just go with as is then, and we'll make a few adjustments. What do you think about the washer and dryer being stacked? Is that going to work for two people that could possibly live in this house? Again, we show one bed, but if they're married or not, they could be two people living here. Is that going to satisfy the laundry needs? What do you think? You guys aren't going to be a quiet class all semester, are you? Because I think I'll probably go psycho if that's the case. Okay, well, jolly, jolly, joy, joy. Okay, then, since there's no discussion on this, I guess we will be calling it good for the day. For those that missed on Tuesday, watch for an announcement in a little bit to give you instructions on how to redeem yourself and have your attendance corrected. If you are here for both, then you do not need to worry about the extra assignment. That's a lot of extra work. And I mean, it's a little bit of extra work. Okay, any questions at all? I mean, really, I've talked an hour now. Any questions? Okay. Well, then on that note, you guys are all dismissed. Have a great day.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank
You're welcome.
you.
Take care.